Morning, guys. Good morning. Quick update, guys. Quick life update. This is low-key kind of making me a lot emotional. A lot emotional, actually. Because, y'all know my motto is healing is non-linear. So, every day, especially because I have, little children, every day, is something new to face. As far as like healing, from past trauma, relationships, childhood wounds, things like that. Sometimes I really hate the fact that this is like the gist of, you know, what motivates me to continue to go live, but I just genuinely feel like I guess whatever it is that I'm going through, it could possibly help somebody else that may be going through the same thing. However, this is dedicated to Eliana. This live is dedicated to Eliana. She's my firstborn child, if anybody didn't know. And she is the child of, somebody that's, it's hard to not acknowledge it, but just to turn back the hands of times and, just even give it reverence, because I never wanted Eliana to have a father like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's very unfortunate. The entire situation is very unfortunate. But I say that to say this. As you all know, hey Felicia. As you all know, or some of you know, and if you don't know, I'm going to tell you. Throughout my journey with Eliana, she's 6 years old now. She'll be 7 next year in January. Throughout these 6 years that I've been her mother, I've had to do a lot, as far as get us back on track. And if anybody was following my journey in the past or whatever, you know that her father wasn't fond of medical care, dental care, any type of care when it comes to the physical body. And that was something that I didn't agree with. Prenatal care, you name it, he was not for it. And I struggled a lot, with trying to get him to see my point of view. But I guess some people are just gonna want their way or the highway. You know what I'm saying? So moving forward in me and Eliana's life after severing ties with her father, I've taken on full responsibility to give my child the medical and dental care and any kind of care, mental care, behavioral care, education, whatever it is that she needs to thrive and be, grow up and be normal. You know what I'm saying? Hey guys. So recently, Eliana's history, from Eliana's hereditary history, from her father is starting to show up, especially, with her dental. She has had dental issues for the longest because I was fleeing from state to state. It was very hard for me to hold down one dentist. So I had to get dental care, basically in every state. In some states, I couldn't even make it because I was fleeing to the next state because of DV. Long story short, Eliana was able to get assessed about almost maybe 3 to 6, I'm going to say 3 to 6 months ago for her dental hygiene. When she first went, there was, some activity as far as cavities, you know what I'm saying, that, she needed to get taken care of. So she was scheduled to have dental surgery, but she wasn't able to get dental surgery during that time because she had wound up getting a cold, and you cannot go under surgery with a cold. And I bring up her father because it's very emotional for me, for Eliana, because I can see her father in her, especially through with this whole dental thing going on or whatever. And her dentist did reassure me that as a child, when you grow up, your dental, it can stem from, your parents. You know what I'm saying? Eliana's entire mouth is her dad's. You know what I'm saying? Among other things. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't never really have those issues when it came to my dental. I've had a cavity before, whatever the case may be, but I didn't have any real severe issues with my dental growing up as a child. So when he was a child, his parents or whoever his caregivers were completely neglected him. By the time he was an adult, his teeth was just fucking. It was just fucking insane. Like, there's no way you can bounce back from that. Like, you're gonna have to get dentures, veneers, or something. But needless to say, she took after her father with the whole dental situation or whatever. And I've actively been guiding her, you know what I'm saying, to brush day and night, whatever. Every day is not the best, you know what I'm saying, especially when she was a lot younger, like 2, 3, years old. But as she gets older, it's becoming more prominent and more of a topic of discussion. She's learning more about her teeth and why they are important and things like that. However, whenever we got her last assessment done, when she went to her dentist, which I really love this dentist, Eliana had to be scheduled for dental surgery, obviously because we weren't able to make it the first time. So today is surgery day. We are in the hospital right now, and I'm just like, I'm not sad because this is something that's absolutely great that's happening. You know what I'm saying? Every child deserves the dental care, that they deserve. So I'm very excited and I'm very happy for the work that she's getting done right now to correct some of the problems that are going on and to get her on the right track. However, on the other hand, I am very emotional because a lot of the times when, even if it wasn't necessarily dental for me, this whole situation is just triggering my inner child, and it's kind of hard for me not to really it's hard for me to ignore it. You know what I'm saying? It's really hard for me to ignore it. So as a child growing up, I just felt like there was a lot of things that I needed, and my parents, for whatever reason, were available to show up in those areas. And now, especially, because I have a daughter with a man whose parents, essentially weren't there for him either, because we share that trauma. Now that I'm looking at Eliana and going through this with her, I'm seeing how it's trickling down. I'm seeing how these issues and this trauma is trickling down to our children. And I'm even more emotional about it because I feel like I fought the hardest that I ever could in my life to make sure that Eliana had both of her parents. And we didn't necessarily need to be together in order for her to, have her parents in her life. But it just really hurts my heart to know that parents will neglect their children just because of, for whatever reason, you know what I'm saying? And I just don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. So I feel very, very much so empowered right now as a mother because I'm not allowing those traumas to continue with Eliana. Even though it's just me and her right now, at least she still has one of us, you know what I'm saying? And that's super, 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 super important for her.